I don't know. Good morning. Welcome to Simply Live with me. And I'm Simply Lesa. My name is Lesa Nee Smith. Or something. Okay. So, I'm live from Quartzsite. I have a new tripod that I just got. I don't see anybody here yet. I did not do a bunch of extra notices. There's somebody. Good morning from Quartzsite. Oh, there you go, Shadow Wolf. Out there somewhere with a camel. Okay. I got a clue where that camel's from. So Shadow Wolf, you'll be interested in this because we talked equipment. I got a tripod this week. Woohoo! It's just like Sasnax, and I'm going to set it up right now. Hi, Rick Ryan or Ryan Rick from upstate New York. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have some more folks on here, some different folks. I'm aware that right this second, I'm still setting up, guys. I was a little, wow, 4 people already. I was a little late coming in this morning, y'all. So I didn't put a very good, what's it called, out? Thumbnail. Thumbnail didn't go out. I didn't put out extra messages. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Iris. You can't quite see it over here because of the way this is on the dash right now, but I am setting up the new tripod. It's a selfie stick tripod, and I will put it in my Amazon, what's it called? Oh, hi from Alabama. I'm going to come back and say hi, more highs. I haven't set up the camera functions on this yet. There are camera functions. I will put this in my store, so if anybody's looking for gear, they'll be able to. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This, if it's straight, then when I put the phone on it. I was a little late coming. I had run over to my friend's this morning. There we go. In order, oh, you know what? I just set this all up and I forgot I started the live this direction. And I don't know if I can do this. It might tell me that I have to go back and do it the other way. And if it does, then I can't use the tripod. Yep, it's going to tell me I can't. Since I started the live this direction, I can't change it. Bummer. I was going to use the new tripod, so now I can't. Okay, well, that's the answer to that. So who else is here? Shadow Wolf. Ryan, good morning from somewhere. The upstate New York people. Oh, Janet. And Beth. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you. So this morning I thought we'd do some little chit-chatting about trip planning, about getting mails and packages and things like that while you're on. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Janet, doing a build and doing a quick build so that you can get out and visit in Quartzsite. Sometimes it will kill you, and you have RA, so I'm just feeling for you on all those notes. The top of this one does not swivel, whoever just said that. It doesn't swivel in a way that I'm going to figure it out this morning. So let's hope that my hand will not be as unsteady as it normally is, because I'm getting healthier all the time. Yeah, so I thought we'd talk about things like trip planning, because some of y'all know I'm working on my plans for going to Baja, Mexico in a few short weeks. It will be March 6th when I meet up with the group that I'm going to go with. And the group I'm going with, the reason I didn't invite anybody extra, this is the first time I have traveled across a border with a car or a vehicle. Every time I've done it before, I have walked across or I have been on a bus, but I've never driven my own vehicle across the border before. So I wanted to do my first time thing with somebody else. And then the group I'm going with are a bunch of overlander people who are instructors and whatnot. And some of them I don't know, but some of them I know pretty well. And so my being the lower income budget person in the group, I might not be the lowest. I have no idea. But because of my, I just didn't want to do anything that would cause me extra stress or anything else. So I didn't want to invite extra people until I knew more. So that's why I didn't do that. So let's see. So I've been working on those plans. I bought my Mexican insurance this week. But part of my trip planning stuff has to do with, especially going into this other country. Thank you, Shadow Wolf, for the good lucks. Part of my stuff, is finding out. I had to have my passport renewed. I did that earlier this summer. I didn't know where I was going to go at that point. But then when the Baja trip came up, I just said, yes, wait a minute. You guys know my car's not as fast as new cars. I mean, I can do 65 miles an hour with no trouble, but I'm not doing 80. And so there were those factors involved. And I wanted to make sure that that everybody understood that my being on such a fixed income that I might not be able to afford things other people can. And that I, might not choose to eat in restaurants all the time. I might choose to cook because it's cheaper, right? And things of that nature. So in order to have a good time on this trip, I decided to do a little extra work to the rig. And if I can keep the connect, I've got the phone on the Wii Boost right now, which keeps me kind of tethered to the car. And I haven't risked pulling it off. I don't want to lose the connection. But I did get my water port that TJ Shack bought for me. Thank you, thank you. And it is mounted on the rear of the car now. The water port is a 4-gallon food safe water container. So it can be manually pressurized or pressurized with a bicycle pump. And it can be used for drinking water, or you could even put Gatorade in it if you want to. But you can also pump it up and you can use it for pressurized water for washing dishes or showers or whatever. But it's only about 4 gallons. But it helps me to not have to have water inside my car too, which takes more space. So it's on a 2-inch receiver hitch on the back of the car. My newer friend Ron was able to, oh gee, you're here. Oh hey. Yeah, so I was able to get that installed on the back of the car. And so I have that now. That helps tremendously. And that person who came on this morning who made me hot water to drink, thank you so much. And so let's see. So I had to make sure I had my passport. I had to make sure that I had, when I left the cabin, that I brought things like the title to my car and always the registration and things like that, your driver's license, things like that. Had to make sure those things were in order and correct. And then, so when I go to Yuma, then I will make paper copies of those things so that you always travel with multiple copies of these pieces of paperwork, right? Like you go take pictures of your passport's important pages and pictures of your driver's license and things like that, so that you have a like scanned but actual piece of paper that has these documents on it that you can give to other agencies. You don't want to ever give somebody your actual things unless it's a requirement. And especially once you go through the border crossing, you don't let somebody else hold your driver's license. You might not get it back. So they prefer that you can just give them the copies. So when I get to Yuma, I'll be making my copies because there's some things I need to do in the library down there is really good. I tend to use the Fortuna Foothills Library is really good. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you guys for the super thanks, the super chats, the donations, like TJ Shack buying me this wonderful water thing that gives me more room inside my rig. Thank you for your help, your support, your emotional support, and whatever else for sometimes. By the way, I did not have COVID. I was sick a couple of days, slept a couple of really long days, and then I was fine. So, back to trip planning, or is there more housekeeping? Please like, subscribe, hit thumbs up if you can. I really appreciate it. It does something to the algorithms, which actually makes it so that my channel will start to show up in some other places. I did not check this morning to see how many new subscribers we have, but I know we're over 5,000. And everything we do helps. Let's see. So yes, in case of emergency, contact number, put it in your glove box. Yes, please do. If you're going to out here on today's live chat, if you're going to ask me a question, which I'd be more than happy to answer, please put 3 uppercase Q's first so that I notice it as messages scroll past my eyesight. Let's see. So, passport, vehicle information, because I am crossing the border. Then communications. So I had my phone unlocked this week so that when I get to Mexico, I can most likely buy a SIM card so that I can have phone service, because my phone is not going to be able to work in a foreign country. And for me, that will be the lowest budget way to ensure that I have some form of communication. I also communicated with the group I'm going with to let them know that I'm without, I would like to borrow somebody's spare, is it GMRS, I think, walkie-talkie. And I was already told that somebody has a spare and I'll be able to borrow one because I don't currently own one. I should make sure that's a wish list item as well, but it's not. I don't remember that I put it in a wish list item. I would kind of like to have one of the Midland radio set things that are low power, small, fit in small space, and have the capability to be the walkie-talkie and a CB at the same time. I feel like that would be nice, but I don't have what overlanders call comm units. I don't have that yet. So I went ahead and unlocked my phone, and then I started to download offline maps for Google Maps offline for Baja. And so you need to do that so you can have, so that you can have access to mapping, even if you don't have phone signal. You'll be able to use those mapping things. What else did I get done this week for my particular trip, but that I want to remind you guys to do if you're planning a trip? Walkie-talkies are great when you're going to travel along with somebody else. And if you get, the right kind. They're available at Walmart and everything. But if you get the right kind, they basically you can set the channel to match somebody else's channel, and you can have yours and they can have theirs in their vehicle. And if you're traveling close to each other, you could talk to each other and do the whole, did you just see that mountain? That was so cool, kind of conversations. And so they do work with, some of them work with other companies' ones. So don't be worried about that. But having a set's nice if you're going to travel with people. I've wanted them for a long time, but they weren't the most important. Having a working car sometimes, or having your health together, is some of the other stuff that was more important. I have been practicing my Spanish every chance I get. I already have a plan for how I'm going to change my money. Yes, Midland is a good brand. Yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to, after I have the next project done by Ron here in the area where I'm at, that should be, that the parts for that should be coming Friday if packages come correctly. And then after that, I'm more free to be able to move on. But I still have a couple more packages coming. And I'd like to have everything before I leave Quartzsite so that when I go to Yuma, I don't have to come back up here. Of course, at this stage, I'm probably trying to save every little penny I can to make sure I have plenty of money while I'm in Mexico. And yet I know that I'm going to always do what I always do and be budget conscious. And, I'm just going to do everything as thrifty as I can. So I might, if I can find a used one, I might pick up a Spanish phrase book just to have an extra thing around. And I might pick up a guidebook, which would have basic maps in it for the area. I know that's a little old school, but if signals aren't working, it works really well. And I would rather know that I have something than not have anything. And I understand that all the restaurants have Wi-Fi down there, so that shouldn't be an issue. But you guys may lose touch with me next month. I will do my best to try to get some videos together and schedule them to play throughout the month of March in case I can't get out here for lives. What else? I guess the next big thing to talk about today is receiving packages when you're on the road. There's, things have changed over the years, and, post-COVID, it's a little easier to get packages when you're traveling. Except sometimes the apps don't work, and sometimes, things just get funky sometimes. So I've had a couple of packages. Well, first off, the wish list item, I had not changed my receive address to something down here where I was traveling. It was still at the cabin up in Northeast Arizona, 6.5 hours away. And so I wasn't expecting anybody to buy me a gift off my wish list. So I hadn't changed the address. And when TJ Shack said, we don't want to spoil the surprise, but we want you to know we bought you something off the wish list, I went, oh, let me go check where it's being shipped. So I did, and I was able to intercept that one and to get it to come to me. And then I changed my wish list address for the moment. And now that's on a list for me to remember every time I move around, to move where things are being delivered. So, but then some other items got bought with that same address. And so now I tried to reroute them. I got the UPS app. I tried to reroute them using UPS, and I had to pay UPS to change the address. So it costs more, but UPS has run into a glitch and saying that they can't do what I asked, so they're sending it to the cabin anyways. So luckily, I have a good relationship with the UPS office workers up in the area close to me. So in Show Low and Holbrook. And I can call them and I can say, hey guys, I'm having a problem. Can you help me with this package? Here's the package. But that's when it's UPS. When it's other things, then I have to contact those companies and try to work with them. You know, it's the same issues. I have to try to work with the companies to try to find solutions to move things around where I need them. So it makes sense to set up a way, you know, an address that's going to work for you wherever you are. Now, I'm fortunate to have friends who have mailboxes here in Quartzsite, and as long as I send a package in their name to their mailbox, then I can get them. And these the one person I use and the second person that's my backup. Hi. No, I didn't have to pay for yours, but I'm having to pay for a different one. Um, but that's in my world, that's minor. I mean, if I have to pay, even if I have to pay $15 and somebody has bought me an item that I can't afford, like a $300 item, I'm more than happy to pay the 15 to get it sent where I need it. Because, you know, oh, oops. There are times I hit something with the side of my hand. There are times when I can't afford the items. And so I'm so grateful. And TJ, wow, the Waterport works so good. I am so happy. I have not used it for a shower or pressurizing yet, but just for water in camp, to be able to just go out, I have to pull a dust cap off and turn a faucet on, but to be able to just fill the tea kettle, how cool is that? That is so fabulous. And it was food safe. I don't know if you guys knew that. It was food safe. So let's see. So I'm going to go back up and check. I saw 2 questions or comments. So I'm going to go look right now before this gets away from me. Working on your temporary build. Okay. Saw that. I commented on that a little bit. Hi, all these people. Hi. Oh, yeah. Thank you on the good luck. And good morning. Yeah, Kat. Okay. Thumbs up. Yeah, people, if you could do thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. Don't forget, and in case of emergency contact, that is correct. Thank you for reminding me, Iris. I do it in case of emergency. I have something taped inside my glove box all the time in the car, but I want to make sure that I also take that with me in my paperwork, so that if I'm found or my paperwork is found, you know, there's somebody to. Are you able to do banking there? Yes, I will tell you about that in just a second, but I think, okay. So banking in Mexico. I double checked with my budget-friendly traveler friends, as well as some other things, some other people. I checked quite a bit around, and you still can use an ATM card at a debit card or a credit card at ATMs in the foreign country, and that's when you get the best exchange rate for your money. So you put your card in and it'll ask you, do you want US dollars or the currency for where you're at? So in this case, it'll be pesos in Mexico. And so I'll be able to go in and pull out from the ATM a certain amount. Don't forget to notify your credit union or bank in order, hi Brooke, in order to let them know that you're traveling so they don't think your card got stolen. And so I still need to do that myself. But what my plan is and I believe the group's plan is, I'm going down to Yuma somewhere around the 23rd, because I think my last package comes here on the 22nd. So somewhere around the 23rd, I'll go to Yuma. And then after I do a few things, I'll do some work at the library down there where I can make paper copies of things, print some things out, do some work on the computer. I'll take a day, I'll go over to Algodones, which is a walk across the border situation, and I will go to I think it's the embassy, I think is the right word, and I will get my FMM, which is basically your visa. And I only need that because I'm staying in Mexico for a whole month. And if you're staying past a certain number of days, you need to get the FMM. But you don't need it if you're only going across for a day trip, or you're only going to be, I think it's less than 10 days. You don't need it. But so I will walk across at Algodones and I will get that. I will pull some money out in peso form from an ATM. And I might check to see about getting a pair of prescription sunglasses. And then I will come back and I will hang out in Yuma and work on computer stuff. And hopefully, yes. And I will hopefully get quite a bit of computer work done down there, because I'm real comfortable in the Fortuna Foothills Library. Was very comfortable the last few times I worked down there. I could work for hours. And hopefully I get a lot of stuff done so that I can schedule things for you guys to see and update things that I've been having trouble updating up here in Quartzsite. And then hopefully I also can stay at Fortuna Pond. Okay, or on the maps, it's Fortuna Lake, because it's one of my favorite places. And I love the wildlife and the birds, and to hear the birds singing on the waterfront in the morning when you wake up. It's the bomb. I've showed you guys videos of that a couple of times, but I'm so hoping I get to do that and it's not too crowded. Yeah, I do not have one item that I would kind of like to have crossing the border, but I'm also not sure how I can have that item because I don't know how to install it on the car. It would be really nice if I could have even a 1-gallon gas can, like a Rotopax gas can, but the group I'm traveling with has extra gas cans for their own use, and I've already spoken to them about that. I'm not expecting to have a problem, but there is one section I'm going to drive, and that one section is almost 300 miles. I've forgotten the exact mileage. I don't think I can. I don't have the paper where I could look it up right now, but it's 200 and some odd miles with no gas stations. And there are people with 55-gallon drums selling gas along the way, and I'm not buying gas from them. Okay, that's not the plan. And so I was already advised where to gas up in that town, gas up in that town, gas up in that town. Make sure the last one you're leaving with a full gas tank, and I should be fine. But it is something that on overlander vehicles, it's always nice to have a gas can, right? And for this rig, the only one I could even like justify the size of would be like a 1-gallon Rotopack. I think I'm saying it right, which is what ATVers have on the ATVs, or they put on overland vehicles, the little red ones you see that mounted on the outside of vehicles. But I don't know where I'd mount it if I had one. So that's the only other piece that I haven't gotten. What I'm waiting to have installed, because having my rig in good shape, I do not use a VPN right now, G, because my phone service is still my free government phone service because I'm disabled. And both my phone and my service, they refuse to let me use one. They actually shut my phone off when I use a VPN. They say, no, you can't do that. The phone shuts off, turns itself off. When you turn it back on, it says you must delete the VPN first. And so I don't do that. Uh, if I was paying for my own service, I definitely would be using a VPN. When I use other computers and other Wi-Fi in foreign countries before, what I've done is I just use as much Google stuff as I can. And my documents and all are in Google Docs and things like that. And I try to use Google Voice. I still have a Google Voice number. Some of you all know that number because it's been my SimplyLesa phone number for years, since the 90s. And that number is 347-410-6480 because I was one of the first persons to get a 347 number when I lived in New York City. And I was all excited. I wanted a 212 number, but I didn't get it, but whatever. And now New York doesn't mean the same to me as it used to. But let's see. Yeah, I do as much through the Google stuff as I can. I used to use Skype a lot, but I got into using Google Voice instead because I could access it from public libraries and things. I'm trying to think what else. What else on that vein of things? And what else were we talking about? Anything? How am I doing? Do you guys have more questions on that stuff? And that's the reason that I've chosen to unlock my phone so that when I do get over to Mexico, I can buy a SIM card in order to have phone service because my phone is not going to work in Mexico. I was already informed by my company. And so having my phone unlocked allows me to put in a SIM card from another company. And because the SIM card will cost me way less. It'll be something like $15 or something, and I'll have service for 3 months or something like that. Where if I wanted to buy a new phone with the company and have a burner phone or something from a different company down there, then I got to pay for equipment too, and it might cost me $50. And I want to make sure I'm saving every penny I can for gas and groceries. And I've already paid for the insurance. I was able to get a budget price from Lewis and Lewis. And I chose to go with liability only because they won't give me much for my tracker because of its age. And the deductible was high on any other kind of insurance. So for this trip, I will be with people. I should be safe. Sure, I'm running a little bit of a risk, but you know what? I'm not dead yet. And the car's in good shape and I should be fine. Okay, let's see. Yeah, fraudulent charges and stuff. I saw that. That's Beth, right? Yeah. Yes, Beth, about the contacting your bank or credit union, it's very important. I've done that, I've done that every time I travel. So I don't do it so much in the States anymore, but definitely when you're going to another country, definitely, because they will shut your cards off and not let you use them. And then what a hassle it is to get a card turned back on is almost impossible. And to have them send you a new one and send it to a foreign country like FedEx, 2-day air, oh, you're going to pay, you're going to have trouble getting it, you're going to, be worried the whole time. Anything you can do to keep your comfort level more even as you're traveling just helps, because there's enough stress already with things being different. And now Catherine and I went shopping together this week. We often camp near each other. And Catherine was telling me about how just during COVID, she had the anxiety problem of going into a Walmart and seeing empty shelves, and how it really affected her stress levels and her health. And she was so, I hope it's okay that I told that, Kat, but that it really was difficult for her, and she still has some residual issues with that. So I'm saying, when you go to another country, I know one time, now y'all know I have 2 children, um, and my daughter's in Virginia and my son is in Arkansas, and I don't see them very often. We don't even have much communication. But there was a time when my son and I were trying to reconnect with each other, and he decided to visit me in Costa Rica. And I took him shopping, which to me was normal shopping at the local mercados. Mercados are like farmers markets. And then I needed to do, well, he needed to do. He stayed 3 months or 4 months, and he needed to do a border hop, is what we called it. We needed to cross the border to get our passport stamped again, so that the stamp in Costa Rica is your visa. And so it allows you to have so many more days. So we got on a bus, and I was like, well, I do this all the time, Josh. I'm either going to Panama or I'm going to Nicaragua. Which one do you want to go? And he goes, oh, let's go to Nicaragua. I've never, been there. So we get on a bus and go to Nicaragua, and he couldn't handle it. Sorry if you see this, Josh, and I'm not trying to, throw you under a bus, but he really just like got all glassy eyed and emotionally could not handle the fact that he's in a place where it was monsoons at the time too. So it's raining cats and dogs, and there's mud puddles everywhere. And they have tables of fruits and vegetables, or straw mats on the ground with fruits and vegetables, and big vats of fermenting salsa and things like that. And then there's a guy with a bicycle with fish hanging from strings off of the bicycle. And then we turn the corner to the meat market, and here are the parts of animals. And he's just like, he had to walk out, throw up. He couldn't handle how different it was to his mind. And so just remember that everything you can do to make your life easier and calm, and to avoid as many stressors as possible, do those things before you go. Make sure your rig is as comfortable as it can get. That's another reason I'm sitting still waiting on a couple more packages. One of the packages, I had forgotten that I didn't have screens for the tracker, for the front windows of the tracker. When it started getting hot here the other day, a fly came in, and I went, oh crap. If it gets to be really hot and I need to sleep, I can't sleep with flies landing on my face. I've tried before. Okay. It doesn't work good. So I was like, you know what? Let me wait an extra week and get screens that will pull down over my front windows. So I've ordered those. And so that's why I've got to wait till the 22nd, because before that, I would have been able to go maybe this Friday. Right. So I'm waiting a whole extra week because I forgot to have screens for the front doors. And so some of this is, I'm spending money that I'm hoping I'm going to have enough, right? I haven't touched my $500 emergency fund. Yes, you heard that right. I am not back up to my good emergency fund yet. Right now, I've only got $500 for an emergency fund, but $500 is better than nothing. And I'm not dead yet. I'm going now. So You don't always do what I say, what I do, do what I tell you, um, but it's better to have more money in your emergency fund. Absolutely much better. But a starter emergency fund can be $500. And then you aim for 1,000, and then you aim for more. And as you can, try to have 3 to 6 months emergency fund in, set aside. That's the goal. Well, that's my goal, and I've had it, but I don't have it right now. And I'm still going to travel, and I'm still going to do this, and I'm confident I can be okay. I'm very, y'all know, I kind of preach being self-responsible, being super uber. Oops, I did it again. The base of my thumb keeps hitting the camera button and turning it around. So be uber, what's the word? Be ultra self-responsible. Take freaking care of yourself. Carry the first aid kit that you need for you, like me with all my allergies. I have a buttload of Benadryl with me all the time. And when I take my little day pack to go places, right? When I'm walking around, or like my pocketbook bag, right? There's Benadryl in that all the time because I have severe allergies. And so really be careful with those things. Make sure you have those things taken care of, because that then allows you to relax and enjoy the difference of this place. And, don't freak out. Just take a deep breath. Remember your grounding techniques, take deep breaths, touch something that's familiar, that's outside of your body, but that's familiar. Even the physical thing of like picking up your phone but not looking at it in a situation that's awkward can ground you a little bit. If you can, put your bare hand on something natural, touch a flower, touch a tree, touch I don't know, whatever, a piece of fabric, something, but it will help ground you. And if you can, pull your shoes off and put your feet on the ground. But those grounding things, the super deep breath, will help you pull yourself back from, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. This is too scary, like my son did. And he learned how to ground himself. It works. Get yourself a hot drink, get yourself a freezy frozen drink. For me, it used to be frozen coffees or super hot coffee. Either one would like pull me back real quick. And so have some of those tricks up your sleeve in case you get overwhelmed, because some situations when you're traveling in foreign countries are overwhelming. Okay, let me come see. I saw a question or something, and I'm sorry I hit that thing that made you see red. Okay, I cannot see your chat messages right now. Oh, there's something. Make yourself come. Yes. And nature just solves. Nature heals us. Why can I not see y'all's messages? All right. I'm punching the button. I'm not seeing the questions. I don't like it when things don't work, but the wind's blowing a little bit. The Wii Boost is still powered. Maybe I don't have much of a signal. No, it looks like bars of signal. Okay, hit the button that says all messages are visible, and I still don't see anything. Okay. What if I take it off? All right, let's try that. And then, y'all can't see me pushing the buttons, but down here I'm pushing buttons. Now let's see if I put it back on that, will it show up? Nope, I got nothing, guys. So I can't see. If you guys can answer whoever's questions are up there, if there's a question, it would be nice to know that y'all aren't getting left without answers. Okay, so let's see. What else was I going to talk about today? packages, you know, Amazon's becoming different. Amazon is taking a really long time to even try to send packages. I mean, you know, it used to be being a Prime member, you would get yeah, what is going on? Okay. Something's going on with me over here and not being able to see. I can't see any messages from y'all at all, and I don't know why. Are you selling the cooler? What happened with it? Yes, I'm selling the cooler. Well, actually I have gifted it to a neighbor because I got weird uh, responses to it when I tried to advertise it to sell. It was a gift, but the first hot day I had here, a whole bag of ice melted within a few hours, and that's not going to help me. So I'm going to let that go. I don't have the space for it to. I don't have the space to give to something that isn't going to give me a good result, a good return, right? And so I'm going to let that go. And I'm still planning to someday, maybe this summer, be able to have solar that works well enough and to somehow figure out a way to vent the refrigerator that I have, the little Alpacool C12 that's up at the cabin. If I can, it fits inside the car. It was in here all last summer, but my current solar couldn't keep that running because I didn't have panels in the sun 24/7. And when it's vented, when its exhaust made the car really, really hot. Yeah, it made the car really, really hot in the summer. And so that wasn't working. So I've seen some things online, and it may be Share the Wild from up in Canada, how he vented his little refrigerator and used a computer fan to like blow air around it and whatever. If we could figure out a way to do that, me and some of my buddies, right? Then I'm thinking that we will probably do that. Oh, um, so that I can put it in freezer mode and use it because, yeah, so that I can use it in freezer mode. And here's the reason I want to use it in freezer mode. So now let's talk about the Lion diet, Lion. I am currently on the Lion diet. It's an elimination diet. I have been on it. I believe I'm on my 9th week. I would have to go look at a calendar, but I've been on it quite a little while. I have friends in a Lion Diet in the Lion Diet Facebook group who have cured their MS in 6 months of doing Lion Diet. And I'm on that mission to cure mine. So 6 months for me from when I started will be right around my 65th birthday. And that's in June. I'm hoping to schedule with my MS doctor new MRIs to prove that I've gotten rid of it by then. Passover will be, which is around April, will be, I forgot, four months. Wait. Oh yeah, will be 4 months. And so for Passover, I've already decided I'm going to eat something that is not on the diet. I have a couple of things to try, and they'll be kind of like a reintroduction trial thing. But because Passover is special, a special celebration, I will try something then. We'll see if I get sick. But the goal is for me to be really strict for 6 months. Lion diet basically is ruminant meat, salt, and water. That's it. That's all. No, nada, nothing else. Just that. So ruminant animals are animals who have 4 stomachs, which also makes them kosher, by the way, by Old Testament laws. But anyway, or rules, whatever. So we're talking cows, sheep, goats, bison, venison, deer, those kinds of animals. I can eat any of the meat. I can eat any of the organ meats from them. And so I've been concentrating mostly on beef because of the cost and where I am in Quartzsite, Arizona right now. And for the ease of everything. And I've kind of gotten into a little routine with it that works pretty good. I do better with, yeah. Yes, Brooke. And I am seeing you guys' comments now. I don't know why, but on my settings, I've had to do top chats instead of live chats. So live chats was giving me nothing. So thank you. Oh, thank you, Hawaiian. That's awfully nice of you. And I hope that I'm actually seeing everybody's comments because I'm having a little difficulty with the comments today, but it's probably the signal. So thank you for coming, Hawaiian. I'm really glad to have you here. I have been raw vegan and vegetarian. This is to answer Andrea. In my past, after being raw vegan for 5 years, and I was raw vegan for longer than that. I think I was raw vegan for 9 years. Okay. But whatever, whatever. After 4 or 5 years, I started having some awkward problems that were new. I healed up all kinds of stuff, but then I started having odd things and I was craving goat's milk. And I was like, why would I crave that? I mean, we had goat's milk growing up, but why wouldn't I crave some other milk? Why wouldn't I crave, but it was like, no, I want that. And I wanted a steak and wine. And I was like, okay, I don't understand what's going on. And I did not give in to it, but I just kept eating plant-based. Well, I was raw vegan. Like I said, I kept eating raw vegan. And I even went fruitarian. And I got worse. And then I ended up in the hospital with diverticulitis. And plants have tried to kill me. There's some guy, some doctor out there that has a video that has a title very like that. When I learned about lectins, and then I was lectin free for 3 years. And I've been off sugar for a long, long, long time, sugar and anything sweet. I even gave up stevia and monk fruit and all of that for like a year and a half. And then I brought some back and I was like, it didn't make it better. All of these things, Andrea, it just did not work well for me. And when I have done the research so many times, I almost went carnivore in 2009. But in 2009, carnivore people were talking about eating raw eggs and raw meat. And I just was like, except for a piece of sashimi, I don't see how I can do that. So, hi, phase 3. Thank you for coming. I just didn't think I could do the raw meat. And so I went, you know what? Plants should be able to heal me. I should be okay. And so I kept going for more years and it just has not worked. It has not. And I've had pretty bad bathroom issues. I guess a nice way of saying it is I've had urgency issues with my bathroom habits for years. And my daughter has Crohn's disease. My grandfather passed from colon cancer. And so I'm concerned about those things. And most of my siblings and parents, most of them have had diabetes in some form or another. So, um, yes, that's it, TJ. Yes. So, and isn't it Dr. Barry that also talks about carnivore, right? And there's ways to ease into carnivore. Okay, I didn't. I'm the pull the band-aid off or jump in the deep end of the pool. You know, I'm one of those people, and so I chose to just decide one week I'm done. I thought it was odd that for a long time I had been like every time I ate meat, I felt okay, but every time I ate something else, I'm in the bathroom. And I'm like, what? That's just weird to me. And I was like, in my brain, I'd been so trained to not think to think of meat as a condiment instead of food. And so I just wasn't going that way. Yeah, Dr. Ken Berry, yeah. Um, there's also the steak and butter girl. I'll mention a couple of people. I don't watch her that much, but I've seen some of her stuff. And I like the girl who does my zero carb life. Liking that. Yeah. So when I was in New Mexico struggling and I was using the cob oven, I did some videos on that, and hanging around with Rick and Candy, they got a bunch of different meats from the food bank, and I was able to be there because somebody had to be there after that robbery. I was able to stay because I wanted them to be able to be more comfortable when I left. And if somebody always had to stay home, that they got the break that my being there could give them. So I chose to stay home rather than go visiting with them and things. I chose to stay at their place as the person to kind of watch out for things and babysit the dogs while they went and did things together as a couple. And because of that, and I had just bought that cob oven, I did a lot of cooking those meats for them. And then I got to eat some too. And I was like, well, it's weird. I feel so good with meat. Well, I started researching again the carnivore stuff. It was on my mind. And thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. And thank you, all you new people, for coming in. Um, uh, yeah, please hit your the thumbs up, and remember to like and subscribe if that works for you, and because it will work for all of us at some point. And I do have super chats and super thanks and all those things, you know, whatever. I have, you know, I have a PayPal me, and I have things if you're wanting to help in some way. I also just got a Cash App. I haven't done anything with that. And I have an Amazon wish list and stuff, you know, like most people out here have these days. So yeah, so I read up, did lots of research before I started, but when I decided, I was like, well, I'm going to try it for a week. Let's just see what happens. And so I went nearly cold turkey. I didn't give up my coffee yet. I decided to go with black coffee and only beef products for a week. Well, 4 days in, I gave up the coffee. I felt so much better. I had so much energy. The inflammation was gone. I was just like, wow, I feel like I don't even know what I feel like. And I no longer had urgency issues in the bathroom. So then I've gone beyond that now. Then I said, well, I'll do another 3 weeks. We'll see what happens at that. And I did, and it was easy. And it was like, well, I'm going to keep going because, wow, this simplifies my food. It simplifies my kitchen. I still prefer my little ammo crate kitchen boxes. I just love them. So I'm going to keep those going. Um, and I found some things that I won't be able to have all of these items when I go to Mexico in the car, but over time I will stock up. And one of my ammo crates will have carne seca that I have found on Amazon and I was able to buy. I will be able to get Paleo Valley um, jerky sticks to have in there. I have already ordered that, should be here Monday. Betty Jo knows that. Monday, I should have the ingredients to make my own, which will be lower cost, electrolyte mix, so that I then won't be drinking as much good old heavy glass bottle Pellegrinos, which has a lot of minerals in it, which has enough of the electrolytes to keep you from getting cramps or stuff. But I already bought the ingredients to make my own so I can give that up. That saves space and weight and everything else. So, and expense, because Pellegrinos, it's not horribly expensive, but in my world, it's just something else I have to go buy. And if I don't have to buy it, it helps. So that stuff should be here tomorrow. And let's see what else. I'm just feeling so good. I've decided now to give up ground beef because I'm feeling so good when I eat actual chunks of meat that I'm finding that I've decided that I just want to try not doing ground beef and see what happens. So, so far that's been a week or so, and I just feel better. And like I said, less inflammation. My knuckles aren't swollen. You guys know, you could see when I'm pudgy sometimes. This, I think, is eye strain. This dark from working on the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning when everybody else in the LTVA is asleep and my Wii Boost and signal is strong. It's a thing. You know, sometimes we do these things. So that's talking about lion diet. I've given you kind of an update. I'm not sick. I didn't have COVID. Yay. I was feeling pretty wonky, but I got over it. The wind has been incredible here. I noticed that maybe it was Brooke, somebody mentioned about the wind. I noticed on my, I can't see messages again right now, but I noticed on my phone, my weather app on my phone, that that the wind rating is a little lower for the next couple of days. So I'm hoping that's, hoping that's true. I'm actually camped right beside G's rig right now. And I'm going to move back down near Catherine and Homer because there's a tree I've been camped beside down there. And it's been, it's a little lower than up here. G's kind of up on a hill a little bit. It's a little lower and a little more protected. So I think that's helping me some. Okay. All right. So let's see. The last question I saw, Iris, was, do I drink tea or caffeine? I am not. I am not. I smell other people's coffee. I see it once in a while and I go, oh, I miss my coffee. And that's it. I enjoy the smell of coffee. But you know what? I have chosen to go cold turkey and do exactly as the diet. And the diet is just this: ruminant meats, salt, and water. And that's it. Yes, I have heard about sound healing and water therapy. Yes. And I have done some sound healing before. Yes. And seriously thought about years ago having my daughter in a water given birth in water, but I didn't do it. And you're right, DS, salt is not the thing that creates inflammation. But if you don't have salt, you can get dehydrated easily. And it used to be a thing that construction workers were given salt tablets in order to keep working. And so I think we kind of got away from these things and forgot where, how things worked well or something. So whatever. So I have ordered potassium. I would have to look it up to tell you exactly. I can't remember if it's potassium chloride or if it's magnesium chloride, but whatever. It's a potassium, a magnesium, and Himalayan sea salt to make my own electrolytes. Now, LMNT electrolytes limit makes a raw version that has no stevia and no flavors. And that one is recommended for lion diet, but it's horribly expensive. So I'm trying to, watch the budget here. Come on, people. I just this January just got my cost of living increase that increased me up to $1,000 a month. I have been very low income for so many years, but plus, why not have control over more of your own stuff anyways? So sorry, I do wiggle the phone because it didn't fit on the. I had started the chat in the in portrait length, and then after I started it, I couldn't turn it sideways to put it on the tripod. So next time I'll have it set up better beforehand. So I think I've given you a lot about lion diet right now. So I'm working toward, I'm going to probably be borrowing Catherine's sewing machine fairly soon. I found some, I might be able to show you that. I found some pretty pillowcases the other day in the thrift store. And they're really cute. They're really big. Okay, let's see. Look at that print. They're very large pillowcases. Now I'm only using one hand because I'm holding y'all in the phone. So they're very pretty print. And I thought that the fabric, if I can hold, I can't quite. Let's see. Hold that with that finger. Maybe I can pull it up like this. Can you see that? No, you can't. Okay, so I have to hold it different. That's not going to work. Anyways, I thought that this might be pretty as the inside of curtains. These have been the outside of my curtains inside the rig, but sometimes having something that's a pretty color. And so I got 2 king-size pillowcases for $1 at the thrift store in order to do that with. And oh my gosh, I haven't even tried these on yet, but I did spend a little extra money on a pair of pants. Oh, good Lord. I can't believe I'm about to do this because I've always thought I was so fat and so whatever, right? We're human beings, people. It's the way it works. You're not the only ones, right? And I am bigger than some people are. But I went ahead and bought myself, Dollar General, or I think it was Dollar General. I bought myself these flashy leggings and I'm going to wear them. Whether they're my pajamas or whatnot, I'm going to actually wear these. So, whatever. So, I don't know. It makes me think about the beach and whatever. So, I'll probably be borrowing Catherine's sewing machine to do these projects. Whoops. You're all getting a ride now, aren't you? And I want to remove my Instaprivy kit from the ammo crate that's under my pillow. And I want to mount that back. I liked it better when it was mounted on the spare tire. And but the backpack rotted in the sun, and so that's not around. So I need to make something that coordinates, so probably a black bag that can then be attached to the spare tire in the back underneath my saddlebags in order to hold that bathroom kit, so I can open up that ammo crate to put more carne seca and Paleo Valley sticks and some more kitchen items, right? Some of you also know I'm kind of a stove geek, and because I'm allergic to propane, I have alternative stoves that use other fuels. And I tend to get really lightweight ones. I love ultra lightweight titanium stuff when I can get it. Um, and I'm a little bit bushcraft. So I have some things that are in the saddlebags that I'm very happy with. But I keep running out of my sterno and my yellow heat bottles for alcohol. And so I need to make sure I have some ways to, take care of things, but also have some of those dried foods that will allow me meats, so that it will allow me to keep going, because I'm not stopping on this diet. It's helping me. So that's that. I'm over an hour. So we talked about, I'm going to recap as I look at messages here. If you guys have more questions, please ask. Don't be scared. Don't be, what is it we used to say? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be shamed. Go ahead, ask the questions. Don't worry about it. I'll answer you. Let's see. Still not seeing messages again. Must be the signal that I can't see messages right now. Last time I said hide all chats, and then I went back and I went live chat, and you guys showed up. Well, it's not working this time. All right. Well, so I hope you got some good content today. I think you did. When I finish, I'm gonna have a good glass of Pellegrino, and then I'm gonna have some breakfast because I haven't eaten yet. And I have some leftover steak from last night. Oh, something I really found was... Oh, thank you, DS. That's really lovely. I have had a lot of years of cooking on open fire. Yes. So thank you. Oh, I forgot about Super Bowl. Is that today? Well, if you're doing Super Bowl, yay. I found that I was able to split up a 7-pound bag of ice and use it with my vintage Coleman 6-pack cooler from the 80s. And if I put ice in 2-gallon Ziploc bags, put my meat, take it out of all the wrappers, take all its diapers off, take all the styrofoam stuff out of the packages, and put the meat in quart size, just the meat, in quart size Ziploc bags. And so I put those in the center with the 2 bags of ice on the outside. And I can then cook some of the meat, put some of the meat, once it cools down, cooked meat, in the center as well. And if I'm able to get the fat, I make these crunchy bit things, put that in there. I can eat the cold meat. Tastes so good on hot days. It was wonderful. And then I have enough ice left to fill my ice jug that I've had for quite a few years. You'll see that again. So, all right, I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a good week until I see you again. Yep, pray for me, pray for each other, please. Everybody has stuff going on. I know Catherine could use some prayers as she's thinking about what she and Homer are going to do as they start to wind down their travels, because their age and their health and whatever else. Pray for Brooke, Betty Jo. She had a real income glitch this month, and that was hard. Don't forget to pray for Shane. I didn't see him out here today, but Shane had to end he was engaged, and he had to end a relationship in the last couple of months, and I think that's been challenging. pray for Pixie, who needs to get a new car. And for each of you out here together. Bernie, I didn't see whether Bernie was out here. Please remember to pray for her too. She was new. She was a little scared. She's doing great. I can't think of other people right now. Not if I've forgotten you, it's not on purpose. If any of you are coming this way and you want to camp with me, make sure you somehow get a hold of me so that you could meet up with me. Yeah, Shane is nice. I mean, he really is. He's a devil's advocate, kind of pain in the butt on Facebook, but it's because he tries to get a reaction out of people, but whatever. And yeah, this being phase 3 put out something about Valentine's Day. I don't personally keep some of these holidays, but Valentine's Day being a thing in our culture. Every time you go in a store, you're bombarded by heart-shaped things and red things and balloons and whatever else. So I decided years ago when I was first becoming a public SimplyLesa in the late 1990s, I decided that February was going to be self-love month. So let's work on some self-love. Oh, good morning, Jules. You may have to go back, Jules, and watch it as a replay after it loads. Thank you guys for all the thumbs up and all the support. Pray for me too, please. That I'm strong and that working this diet really does. Come on, I have proof from some other people who have cured MS that is possible, and so I'm not going to have MS. That's the way it is. I don't have it anymore. So let's let's do our best. Let's stay healthy. Let's have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week. Hang in there. Yeah, so the whole month I decided, Andrea, the whole month gets to be self-love month. So I should have brought that in to talk about it, but I'll get more of that out too. But let's do some stuff to love ourselves this month. And y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. Go for a walk. Get outdoors. Smell the air. Something. Open a window. Have a good day. Ciao.